morning, Ronto. This is Conrad Getz, your host for Double Double Radio. We've got a bit of a mail call today, since a neat little package arrived at the station from one of the local couriers. I haven't had a chance to open this up, but it does feel like it might be a holotape, which could be another game for the collection, or maybe something else neat for the station. I'll get to that in a few minutes, after some recent news I've picked up since the holidays. A new year has begun, and it's been about the same as this time last year. The snow has been thick, the wind has been cold, but the small fireworks display that some of Queenie's raiders were launching off were pretty fun to watch. It was especially funny to hear about the Brotherhood and CPF panicking that someone was starting an aerial assault over the city. Pretty funny to think of these big, tough soldiers being scared of a bit of gunpowder and slightly irradiated mini-rockets going off over the West End. In related news, it's heavily recommended that you bring some Radaway or Rad-X if you're traveling through there, as well as some heavier armor for any of the potentially ghoulified raiders. Despite the weather, some new shipments have managed to get through and bolster the stock in a bunch of the shops around Eaton Central. Some scavenged, some a bit more fresh. I know there's a bunch of pretty decent chems that made their way to Mount Sin, but a few stim packs and tins of Mentats made their way to Maple Sap and some of the other vendors. I think there's also been a shipment of some Nuka-Colas and maybe even some Sunset Sarsaparilla from out in the Mojave, all available at Great and White North Grub, which is on my list of spots to hit up when I get the chance in the next couple weeks. I've got to grab some fresh plasma cells and crafting supplies for the plasma rifle Hunter got me for the holidays, so I figure I should grab some grub while I'm at it. I've been getting a bit tired of cram on toast the past few days, so a stock up is definitely in the cards. Speaking of cards, I've got a bit of a scavenging request that I'll pay top caps for. Hunter reminded me of that game Caravan that some couriers introduced us to when passing through the NCR a couple years ago, and I've been wanting to play some card games in general, like, Solitaire, War, something like that. So if anyone has managed to scavenge some relatively complete decks of playing cards, I'd be happy to pay a decent rate to clear them out of your pack. At least a few decks worth would be great, but even if you've only got one, I'm happy to barter. Now, moving on to this mail we were delivered. It's a holotape from Vault 416. I haven't heard anything from them in ages. I guess since I started broadcasting, someone must have picked up the signal, but what would anyone have to say to me here? Hold on, dear listeners. I'll connect my Pip-Boy to the console so you can all listen to this with me.
Hey, Conrad. It's Lily. Hopefully you've received this holotape okay. I wasn't sure about the courier I sent it with. They came by the vault to trade some supplies and check in with the new overseer, since I guess we're on their route to Ronto from wherever they're coming from, Anyway, we've managed to pick up some of your broadcasts here and there, and a bunch of us are happy to hear your voice on the airwaves. We try to tune in every couple of days or so, and we've been really happy to hear how things have been on the surface. I know your grandfather's super proud of you for getting out there, even if it was a bit chaos afterwards. But speaking of which, there's a new overseer recently, and some things have been changing around the vault. It took a few years, but your leaving the vault sparked some changes to how things were going. An election was held in 22-23. It came down to a few votes, but the new overseer ended up being Chris McGregor. I don't know if you remember him, but back around when you left, he was that kid who was creating petitions to change up the military training to make it optional and not a draft. Well, since he's become overseer, he's been making that change a reality. We've also been opening up more for traders and couriers since he took over the role, so that's why I've been able to pick up your signal. Anyways, I wanted to get this message out to you and let you know that if you ever come by and visit, if you want to, you're welcome to. It'd be nice to see you again and hear some more about your adventures from out there. And a lot of folks are still hesitant to leave and go adventuring in the Wasteland, but maybe seeing one of our own might inspire some more of us to go out and bring some Vault-Tec help to the nearby regions. Anyway, I hope you're doing well, and I hope to hear from you soon, Conrad.
Oh my god, I don't know what to say about this. I haven't heard from Lily or anyone from the vault since I left. I know some folks went off to become CPF soldiers, but I haven't really connected with many of them. But hearing this, I mean, this is big news for the Vault. Never thought this would happen, but I'm really happy to hear from them and get this kind of news. I guess I'll leave this broadcast with a message to my friends back in Vault 416. Thank you for the holotape, and when the weather clears up a bit, I'll make sure to take some time and come visit the Vault again. It's been a long time, and I know a lot's changed, but I still look forward to seeing some of you and sharing some stories. This has been Conrad Getz for Double Double Radio, signing off for today. Keep cozy out there, Ronto. Double Double Radio, A Fallout Story, is a Voice in the Static production, written, starring, and produced by Edward Grimgrinner Hutchinson. You can find Double Double Radio on Instagram, Facebook, and other social media sites, and there's a merch store through Etsy. Links are in the episode description. Double Double Radio is also made possible with the love and support of listeners and Wastelanders like you. If you want to help support the show on Patreon, that link will also be in the description, alongside the list of monthly supporters. Thanks for listening.